Joe, how did you first meet Joplin?
Well, I'll tell you how it is. I was in Joplin in Stark's office one time. I used to go up there and get music all the time. They gave me a special price on it. And I went up there looking over the music. Mrs. Stark was there. There was a colored fellow sitting there with his foot all wrapped up and had a crutches. It didn't mean anything to me, so I kept picking out the music. And I happened to mention to Mrs. Stark that I'd like to get some pretty decent things, especially things that were written by Joplin, that he was my favorite writer. And while I was picking out things, she was suggesting things, and then this colored fellow, he started suggesting things. Well, I figured that was natural, being a colored fellow and being liking ragtime, but he would naturally be able to know a lot of pieces. So anyway, he mentioned some pieces, and I didn't notice in particular that he mentioned Joplin's pieces. So I got what I wanted. In the course of the conversation, I happened to mention to Mrs. Stark. I said, that's one fellow I'd like to meet. I said, I admire him an awful lot, and I certainly hope to meet him sometime. So she said, well, would you really like to meet him? I said, I certainly would. So she pointed to this colored fellow and said, well, here's your man. So I looked at him. I said, you don't mean to tell me you're Scott Joplin? He says, that's who I am. He said, I don't look much like it now with my foot wrapped up with gout and all that kind of business. Well, I said, it doesn't make any difference to me. I went over, shook hands with him, told him I was tickled that to meet him, no matter how we looked or anything like. That was one of my ambitions. I called him up one time and made a date to go up to his boarding house with the sensation which he wanted me to do. So I went up there and went in the door, and there was a big parlor, a lot of colored people standing around talking and all that kind of business, and there's a piano in the back. And I met Joplin at the door, so he took me back to play the sensation on a piano. So I sat down, I played it, and as I said before, all the people were talking, which I figured was all right, because I was kind of nervous about the thing. I didn't want to have people stop and listen to me or anything like that. So I played Sensation. Before I got finished, I noticed there wasn't any more noise. Anyway, I couldn't stop in the middle. I couldn't get nervous then, so I just plugged ahead till I got finished. When I got finished, they all clapped, and some fella came over and spoke to Joplin and asked him what that was that I was playing and all that kind of stuff. Jop told him it was Sensation Rag. That he wrote it. Well, this one fellow that asked the question, he said, well, that certainly is some rag. It's a real colored rag. Well, that was what I wanted. I figured I was writing real colored rag. That's what I wanted to do. That's all there was to it.